connection. Let's see. I'm going to do this again, guys. Oh, I don't like this. What is this filter? I'm pushing the wrong... Oh, I love it. Oh, I actually like that filter. So I'm going to do another live because I noticed that I just did a live, but I was in the woods and it was super choppy. And this topic is so important that I'm like, no, I got to do this topic again. And this is Rashida Gaye. Assalamu alaikum, everybody who's joining me. In the name of, we'll say it in Arabic first in English. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. So I was just walking through the woods with my son, and I'm literally sitting in my driveway because I'm like, I have to share this topic with you guys. Because I get these sort of comments all the time from women, and it's so disheartening because they don't understand how things really work. And I don't think anybody ever sat down with them and had a conversation with them about who you have to be to choose an amazing husband who absolutely adores you. I don't think mothers are having these conversations with daughters, maybe because they didn't see it growing up, or maybe their grandmother didn't have a good husband, or maybe their great-grandmother didn't have a good husband. So these are basic things that I want you guys, if you're following me, to know about marriage and love. Where do I start? So most women, and it's so sad, it disturbs my soul, most women do not love themselves fully and completely. I want you to sit with that for a second. Most. And I've coached women all over the planet, all over planet Earth, for 10 years. And the overwhelming theme that I see in most women, Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, atheist, I don't care what they are, they do not 100% fully and completely love themselves. And then they wonder why they cannot find a loving man who will adore them and treat them like a queen. Everything that you want in life starts with you. Until you learn to take personal responsibility for your actions, your thoughts, your behaviors, your feelings, until you learn to take personal responsibility, nothing in your life will change. Whether it's love, money, I don't care what it is, it doesn't matter. You have to learn to take personal responsibility for why do I allow certain things, right? Yeah. MX, I'm so glad you're back. You were with me the other day. So we're going to delve deeply into this topic. This may be a long live. I'm literally in my driveway. I'm in my driveway. Because I'm like, I have to come back. I have to like really give this the time it needs. Bismillah. May Allah guide me to give you guys the best advice. Because I want you guys, any woman who comes in contact with me, I believe you are coming in contact with me for me to help you grow. So to love yourself, we're going to do a quick exercise, ladies, if you're on this chat. This is really for women, but men too. You need to love yourself too if you want to have a good wife. So this could be for men or for women. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to put your hand over your heart. I hope you're in a quiet place. I want you to get to the truth of who you are. The truth of you lives within. And your life is a reflection, always, don't forget this, your life is a reflection of what is happening within you. It's not happening outside, it's happening in you, and then it's manifesting outside. So close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, ask yourself, do I love me? Yes, very much so. I love and accept me, very much so. What were your answers? You don't have to share them. If you were like, I don't know, I couldn't feel the answer, the first answer is your truth. Did y'all know that? When you make major decisions, start asking yourself powerful questions. The first answer is the truth. Everything else is lies. If you didn't, in your core of your soul, feel, yeah, I really do love myself. I really value myself. I see my worth. I know my gifts. I know my talent. I know my skills. I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created me. I'm a divine creation of the Most High God. Yes. Special. If you didn't feel that, how can you expect the man in your life? How can you expect to attract a man into your life that feels about you the way you feel about you? Your husband is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. It always will be. That's the way it works. He's a reflection. He's a mirror. So we don't blame things outside of ourselves. We only do the work on ourselves to make sure that we see ourselves as queens, that we know we're queens. If you know you're a queen, you won't accept anything less than queen treatment. And a man won't come into your life that will not treat you that way because you, inside of yourself, truly value yourself. So I want you to go backwards a little bit. We're going to go backwards with this chat. When you were created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the great, right? The most merciful, the most gracious, the best teacher, the most loving, the most affectionate, the most kind. All of those attributes, of 99 attributes that we are taught as kids to learn, start using those attributes in your prayer. He says in the Quran, even when you pray to me, you can use my attributes, depending on what the situation is, depending on what you're praying for. The Most High, the most loving, the most wise, the great created you. And as Muslims, we believe he actually gave us a choice when he created us. Do you want to come onto the earth? Do you believe in one God, right? And you were like, yeah, I believe in one God. Yeah, send me to the earth to be tested. I'm here for a test to decide where I'm going in my next life, as you guys know. And when you came, you knew. You can look at any baby, any little child. They know they're special. You knew you were special. You felt very lovable. You knew you deserved to be taken care of because you're like, I'm ready to eat. Where's my food? Mom, I'm ready to eat. I'm wet. Someone change me. Why am I wet? You knew that you deserved to be loved. You knew you were special. You knew you were worthy. All of the great things about you. You felt very lovable. Nothing in you told you that you were not lovable and you did not deserve love, right? You come onto the planet knowing these things. Now, this particular topic is about fathers, why you're choosing the men. And if you don't make a conscious choice in who you decide to marry, you will marry your father. All the great things you loved about your daddy and all the not so great things, you will see those things in your husband if you don't make a conscious choice. So now you have to ask yourself, and you can, if you need to sit quietly with yourself, go back a little bit, you can ask yourself, how did my father make me feel? Have you guys ever asked yourselves that question? How did my father make me feel? Me personally, oh, that's gonna bother me. What is that? I don't know what it is, but it's gonna bother. It's a string for my coat. It's gonna bother my hood. It's gonna bother me. Have you ever asked yourself, how did my father make me feel? Eyes closed, hand over heart. Maybe see yourself as a little girl. How did my father make me feel? Ooh, I got a warm feeling. I was blessed, alhamdulillah, to have a father who was, he's not perfect. No man on the planet, no one on the planet is perfect. But the beautiful things about my father, he was a very religious man. He was an imam. And he really believed the hadith. There was a hadith that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that if a man raises daughters and he educates them, he treats them well, he's guaranteed paradise. Have y'all heard that hadith before? So my father believed that hadith. So he was very loving. Made sure I got a great education, told me I was smart, right? Gave me, absolute love, affection, attention, made me feel special every day, would do things for me and tell me, oh, don't tell your brothers I got this for you. Always made me feel special, always made me feel loved, always made me feel like I was adored. My father is my husband, literally. Exactly how my husband treats me is the way my father treated me, like a queen. I was a daddy's little girl. I was like daddy's little princess, and now I'm the queen in my home. So I only share this. I'm not sharing this to brag. I'm sharing this so you understand why you're choosing the men you choose. You got to reflect a little bit. Was my father neglectful? Was he verbally abusive? Was he emotionally neglectful? Did he make me feel special? Did I feel loved by my father? Did I feel adored? If not, you're going to have to do some work on yourself before you choose a partner, to make sure the adult woman that you are now feels all the things that you didn't feel as a child, as a little girl. You have to make sure before you let men into your life that you are healed from the past. You are healed from your trauma. You are healed from your wounds. You are healed from any emotional neglect, any verbal abuse, any physical abuse that you experienced as a little girl. If your father abandoned the family, I hear this a lot. A lot of girls don't grow up with their daddies. So they have never felt the love of a man. They've never felt what it feels like for your father to protect you, to provide for you, to make you feel loved, to tell you every day you're beautiful, you're smart, you're wonderful. If you've never experienced that, as the adult woman, you can give that to yourself. I wish I spoke Wolof. My husband's Gambian. I don't speak Wolof. After 20 years of marriage, everybody's like, why don't you speak Wolof yet? Wolof is not Latin based. It is not like learning Spanish or English. It is a very complex language. My husband speaks Fula and Wolof. He's Fulani too, so he speaks Fula and Wolof. And I love when he speaks his language. He's a beautiful man. But anyway, y'all got me off topic for a second. And I love him dearly. He's a good man. But back to what I was saying. If you did not receive the love that you deserved as a child from your father, you cannot expect to know what it feels like for a man to love you and to cherish you and to adore you. But you can give that to yourself now as a woman, as a grown woman. You can love yourself. You can honor yourself. You can tell yourself every day that I am a queen. I deserve queen treatment. If you need to write it on your bathroom mirror in red lipstick, I'm all about programming the subconscious mind. I was a hypnotherapist for a long time, and I created hypnosis tracks, which I have hypnosis tracks on my SoundCloud for free. If you guys go on my SoundCloud and search for Rashida Gaye, I have an inner child healing hypnosis track that is powerful. And I've helped women all over the world create success in their lives, in their businesses. I've helped them make millions in their businesses. I've helped them create amazing relationships, marriages. So I've done a lot of work with women all over the world. And the overwhelming theme that I see with women who are not able to create good relationships with men, the overwhelming theme that I see is that a lot of them didn't have good, loving fathers. They didn't have good, kind fathers. They didn't have providing fathers or protecting fathers, or, sometimes their fathers were in their lives. So you have to learn to give yourself the love that you never received. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you have to start telling yourself every day. Start telling yourself. Write it on your bathroom mirror in red lipstick. I love and accept me. Right? I deserve a queen treatment. I'm a queen. You should hear my thoughts every day as I walk and move through the world. I'm telling myself every day, I'm a queen. I'm a queen. Imagine telling yourself every day, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. You will change, and you will feel like you deserve queen treatment. Right? Do you guys know how the brain works? This is neuroscience. If you were raised, how did I meet my husband? Good question. If you were raised with parents, a mother or father, who didn't tell you how amazing you were every day, or belittled you, or made you feel small, or, didn't tell you how amazing you were every day, or belittled you, or made you feel small, or, beat you, or just weren't very loving, didn't give you affection and attention, then you could still be seeking that as an adult outside of yourself. And that doesn't create good relationships. So you got to start with simple things like catching your thoughts. Whenever you have, how did I meet my husband? It was actually, he was referred to me by friends. So, so we've been married 20 years, alhamdulillah. He's an amazing husband. He was raised by really good people too, so that's important too. That's a whole other subject. But where was I at? So if you were taught negative things about yourself as a child, you have to start listening to what you're saying to yourself every day. What are you saying to yourself? Do you hear your thoughts? I'm so conscious. I'm so present with myself. I catch negative thoughts. And I believe as a Muslim that those thoughts are from shaitan. In the Quran, Allah says he whispers to you. He wants you to think negative. He wants you to not love yourself. He wants you to not have a good life, right? He wants you off the straight path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim. So he plays on your wounds and your triggers. I'm American. I'm African American. So my family's been in America since the 1700s or something crazy. Yeah. So I'm African American. My husband's from Gambia. Anyway, how do you progress after self-affirmation? So as you're affirming positive, loving, kind things to yourself, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, you're catching your negative thoughts, you're reaffirming, right? You're catching them, you're blocking them, you're reaffirming. Your brain will change. You don't have to change. Your brain will change, and then your thoughts will change, and then your feelings will change, and then your behaviors will change, and then you will naturally change. But it takes time, because you say you're 20. So for 20 years or 15 years or 18 years, you may have been saying negative things to yourself. So it's going to take some time to reprocess and for the new neural pathways in your brain to grow. This is the neuroscience of it. It's going to take some time to start thinking differently, feeling differently, and then acting differently, right? So your father our parents are very important pieces of our lives. And we have to heal from any wounds that were created in childhood so that we don't keep recreating the same stories over and over again. Most women are recreating the same. There's women who will literally get married, right? They'll choose someone who's not a good partner, and they don't do any healing on themselves after the divorce, and then they'll go right and choose the same exact man over again. And they keep saying, why do I keep attracting the same type of men? It's because you haven't changed. It's you. It's not them, it's you. And the more you take personal responsibility for your life, people who are very successful, if you notice this, they take personal responsibility for change. They have self-awareness. They're thinking, how can I be different? How can I think different? How can I feel different? How can I act different? Right? They're the ones doing personal growth. They're the ones in therapy. They're the ones in coaching. That's why they're creating success. Because they know that they had patterns from childhood that they don't want to keep recreating. And if you don't stop the patterns from childhood, you keep creating the same scenarios in your life, in your marriage, in your business. And you wonder why nothing changes. It's because you're not changing. One of my favorite verses in the Quran, verily we will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. You have to change. That's where change happens from, right? Sister, I'm pursuing marriage. If you guys have any marriage questions, I talk a lot about marriage and choosing the right brother. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. So you're pursuing marriage and you're getting to know a guy, but you stopped talking because you felt that. What did you feel? And I tell women all the time, go by your feelings. Your power as a woman is your intuition. And you got to learn how to use it, and you got to learn how to trust it. You got to learn how to trust yourself. You know in your heart, let's keep it real, when you see qualities early in a man that you think, that's not for me. Okay, you can come back. Okay, I'll be on for a minute just before I get tired and feel like getting off. But you women have the power. God has given us the power of intuition. Let's see. After you showed him interest, that he wasn't interested in me no more because he was late with his... Oh, there's some more to that. He was late with his replies when he usually replies fast. So these are conversations you need to have with him. You know, you need to tell him that it bothers you when it takes him... And then the question, too, is how long does it take him to reply? If it takes days and days and days, no, that's not going to work. If he's replying same day, a couple hours later, like, give me more specifics. Like, how long does it take for him to reply to you? Best questions to ask for a potential spouse. So, good question, life. I would say the best thing you can do as a woman to attract a really good man into your life is to know that you are a queen. With every fiber of your being, every cell, every muscle, every breath you take, to know your worth, to know what you deserve, to know your worth, to know your value, and to not make compromises, right? Questions I always tell women to ask about men is, you want to find out his childhood. His childhood, what was life like with his parents? Was he made to feel loved and special? Was he taken good care of? Childhood questions will tell you a lot about his psychology, how he thinks, how he acts, and why. You want to know, did he love his mother? Was he loved? Was his father in his life? Did he see his father love his mother or his stepmother? Right? Did he see his father be a loving, kind man? That'll tell you who he is, especially if he's not done work on himself, right? He usually answers right away, and then he switched and started talking like one day to answer. Yeah, I don't like that. Especially in courtship. In the courtship phase, you should be chasing me. Yeah, because queens we don't chase men. We don't chase men. For what? We don't need to. So if he's not chasing me, if he's not making me feel... My husband literally married me 30 days after I met him. I mean, and he's told me later, day one, he knew he was going to marry me. And I've all my life inside of myself felt that that's what I deserve from men. I've always in my life felt like I'm the prize because of my father. My father made me feel I was a prize. I never questioned my own value or worth when it came to men. Now, mother's a different story. We'll get into that on another live. But anytime a man makes you feel that he's not, like he's making you feel uncomfortable, or you're questioning him, and you tell him that, and he's still like whatever. Now that's the question too. Have you told him? Why is it taking you so long to text me? I don't like that. That's not going to work. I don't like that. I don't feel good about that. Be honest. Tell him, I don't like when you take days and days to text me, especially if you guys are long distance and you're not in the same city and you're not seeing each other on a regular basis. And I did a recording about this. Whenever a man does something you don't like, you have to tell him. Sometimes men cannot read our minds. Not sometimes, all the time. Men don't read our minds, and we wonder why. Well, why is he behaving this way? Have you talked to him about it? Whenever my husband does anything that I don't like, I'm going to tell him. I've learned to do it in a very respectful way, in a loving way. 3 weeks. Oh, no. 3 weeks? You deserve better. 3 weeks? No, ma'am. 3 weeks of you not talking to me and we're in the courting phase? He's not serious. I say it with love. You deserve better. You're the queen. Remember, you deserve better. He's supposed to be chasing me. If he's not chasing me, he's telling me that he's not going to treat me amazing when we're married. You want to be treated amazingly well when you're married. And he's telling you in the courtship phase how he's going to treat you. He's telling you, and you know it. And this is the crazy thing. Women know. We know. We see the red flags. But we don't have the courage to let people go. Because we think the next one's going to take forever to come. And that is there's a word for that, and I can't think of it right now. They try to humble you. This is life. This is how I feel about life. I don't care what anybody thinks. I have a right to happiness and joy in my life. It doesn't matter to me what anybody thinks outside of me. As long as I am living a halal life by what the creator of the universe says, who cares what a man outside of me thinks? Doesn't matter to me, right? I don't have to be humble me. Oh, I don't even like the words. I don't like that. A man who loves himself wants a woman who loves herself. A king wants a queen. I promise you. My husband is a king. He's a king. He told me that when we met, he was like, oh yeah, I was looking for a woman like you. A king wants a queen. A man who's trying to humble you, he's not a king. And he's probably insecure. There's a lot of insecure men in the world and a lot of insecure women. Let's keep it real. So kings want queens. They want a woman who is confident, sure of herself, is going to help them even build their empire. That's how they're thinking. I want to build an empire. I need a mate to help me build my empire. So they're not trying to humble you and play games. Yeah, and most really masculine alpha male men know what they want. They know what they want. And if they don't want you, they know. If they're stringing you along, they're playing a game. You write him. Let's see. Should I consider a former classmate who's been married before with a child and I never married? To me, him having a child doesn't matter. What matters is he taking care of his child? Is he a good father? Right? Those are things that like you want to see in the beginning. If he's taking amazing care of his child, he's a good father, he's a good provider, he's a kind person, he's a righteous person, he fears God, he loves God. Like those are things that are important. Him having a child shouldn't even be, I guess that's not a deal breaker, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why, and now I'm about to get real with you, life, if you're ready for this conversation. The reason why a lot of women attract insecure men is because secretly they're insecure. I'm gonna be real in this chat with you guys. You attract who you are. If you want to write it down so it can soak into your soul, you will always attract who you are. If you're insecure, you're gonna attract an insecure man. And an insecure man cannot be a king. If you know you're a queen, if you love yourself, if you value yourself, if you're very secure in who you are, if you're confident, that's what your mate is going to look like. So all you got to do is work on yourself. Like I tell women, you don't got to change men. You got to work on yourself. And the men who come into your life will magically change. I promise you. Okay, you don't reply to him. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. If he hasn't, user 368, it doesn't matter. A man who really wants to be with you is constantly chasing you. My husband, after 20 years, is still chasing me. If y'all watch my chat about, I did a video recording about a man chasing you. Even after 20 years, he's still chasing me. So even if I don't respond, if I don't call him back, he's concerned. He's like, oh wait, let me call my wife again. If my husband calls me and I answer the phone, and it's like an hour goes by, and he's like, dang, he'll check in again. He'll call again. Are you okay? What's going on? So he's supposed to be chasing you. It's not supposed to be the other way around, right? So these are things that you guys, let's see. He was chasing you, weren't responding right away because he was clingy. Okay, that's a different scenario. He may think you really don't like him. Because what I find sometimes with men is if they're chasing and you're kind of like distant, he may think she doesn't like me. So you guys have to have an honest conversation now. You have to have an honest conversation. Be like, you seem kind of distant. What are your feelings? What's going on? Don't be afraid to have honest conversations with men, especially in the courting phase, right? Have honest conversations. Even in marriage, I'll keep it real. How you keep a marriage really, really good is you have to have honest communication. You have to, okay? Let's see. Yeah, that's true. The child's mother will be in the marriage, and the question for you two is like, do they have a respectful relationship? What are you seeing so far? Does he have boundaries with her? Are there boundaries established? Does he still have feelings for her? Like, you got to sort of ask more questions to find out what is the dynamic of their relationship. Because if she's over him and she's, married to someone else, or he doesn't have any feelings anymore, then I don't think it would be a problem. But if she's still holding on, or she still wants to get back with him, or then she could create problems. So you got to kind of dig a little deeper into the dynamics of it all. Let's see. Yeah, this is the thing about men, y'all. Like, I think I taught y'all this before. Like, their biggest fear is rejection. So even after 20 years of marriage, I still have to make him feel loved. I still have to make him feel like I want him. I still have to make him feel like I need him. Men need that. So if you're, I feel like I'm going to turn my car off because I feel like hold on. I'll put it that way. We'll turn it off. Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can hear me now. Can y'all hear me? If y'all don't hear me, let me know. Yeah, I think you have to, as a woman, you have to be subtle, but you have to learn how to make a man feel accepted. I think that's the most important thing in a man's mind. Is like, if he doesn't feel accepted by his woman, he doesn't feel, loved, like, he will start pulling back because he'll think, well, she doesn't want me. And honestly, they'll never tell you this, but their biggest fear is that you don't want them. That's their biggest fear. I know it's crazy, but I don't know if they're wired like that or what. You're not good at communicating. You haven't gotten to know him seriously. Yeah, communication is important. If you want to have a long-lasting, healthy marriage, y'all got to have real conversations. I know. You have to learn to communicate. And you have to learn to be honest with him about how you feel about things, right? And user 36, how long have you guys been in the courting phase? Like, how long have y'all been talking? Because you can take your time getting to know him, but don't play games with him. Like, be real. Like, oh, you didn't call me, you didn't text me for 3 weeks. Like, that really, it really bothered me. Like, what's going on? Like, have real conversation. Stop all this game playing, okay? Do you guys have any other questions? I have 5% on my phone, but it's still charging. Any questions? Oh, so I want to go back a little bit because y'all kind of got me off what I was talking about. So what I was talking about was with your fathers. If you weren't raised by a father who adored you, who made you feel special and loved and safe and protected and like daddy's little girl, it's such a great feeling. If you weren't raised with that feeling, you have to pour love over yourself every day. You have to tell yourself every day, I love myself. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I deserve love. I adore myself. And the more you do that, you will start to, like, you'll see with even the men that show up for you in the courting phase, they will feel that way about you because you feel that way about you. I really believe that my husband adores me because I adore me. Like, you can't tell me different. And I received adoration from my father. So I learned what it feels like for a man to take care of me. I know the feeling of that. And I would never accept anything less. Okay? Let's see. You got to choose a time. So one thing you can do, life, is, are y'all married or are you still courting? Because, yeah, you don't want to nag. So when you want to have deep conversations with men, you can feed them first. Feed them first. Do it, like, don't do it when they first come home. Like, that's when they're stressed, they're tired. Like, you know, like, wear something nice when they come home, smell nice, like, make a nice dinner. Like, and then when he's done eating and he's in a good place, he's peaceful, then you can have good conversation. Learn how to choose your time. Choose time, the right times to have those type of conversations with the man you love. Like, timing is everything. It's everything. But if you guys are still courting, then it's gonna sound bad. If I'm still courting with someone and I want to ask questions, I'm gonna ask questions. And if they don't like it, guess what? They're not the man for me. My feelings are first. Like, simple stuff. My feelings come first. So I don't know you like that well. So I need to ask questions. I need to know who you are. And if a man has an issue in the beginning with you asking a lot of questions, girl, he is not the man for you. I promise you. Because then when you guys get married, he's going to be like, oh, I don't want to hear her. She's always talking. She's always asking questions, always nagging. He's not the man for you. Let's see. I think all this texting too is not good. I promise you guys. Like, how can you guys, and I've said this in a video, how can you guys build an emotional connection with a man via text? You guys need to get on the phone and have conversation, or in person and have conversation. All this texting, it's not going to work. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you too, Aurora. I appreciate you guys. I love coaching women. It's like my greatest joy. If you guys could feel my heart right now, my heart is like this. It's beating fast. It's something in my soul. It feeds my soul in a way I can't even explain to you. And I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the reasons why he created me, I think, is for that. Is to really help women. To really create, like, happiness and joy and fulfillment in their lives, in their marriages, in their businesses, with their money, with everything. Okay, let's see. You bombarded him with questions at the start, and he said his head hurt. He's not for you, woman. I'm sorry. If I'm getting to know you, let me tell you, in the courting phase, they should be on their super duper duper best behavior. Super duper. They should be trying to impress me to no end. And if I'm asking questions and he's like, oh, it's too much, or I got a headache, okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Remember I told you guys, women set the tone in the relationship. You, off the bat, are telling him your standards and what you expect. And if you're always, like, bowing and being like, oh, I don't want to make him, not like me. I don't want to make him think that, he doesn't want to marry me. I never had a thought like that. In the courting phase, my husband, what I'm thinking is, do I want to marry him? I'm not thinking, oh, I hope he likes me. I hope he wants to marry me. I'm thinking, do I like him? Do I want to marry him? That's what I'm thinking. Right? So now you want to ask yourself, what was I thinking when I first met him? What was I thinking? Was I thinking, I'm the prize, I'm amazing, of course he'd want to marry me, let me figure out if I want to marry him? Of course he'd want to marry me. Why wouldn't he want to marry me? I'm amazing. Are those your thoughts, or your thoughts, I just want him to like me, I just want him to like me? You can't have a man adore you with those thoughts. I'm sorry. Right? Okay, let's see. You guys are asking questions. Let's see. It's okay to try to inconvenience them. And you know what? Guess what? Inconvenience them too in marriage. I told y'all, men like challenges. The type of man you want. Now, if you want an insecure man, if you want a beta, if you want a femme man, then do all the other things you guys are doing. If you want an alpha masculine man who is a provider, who will take amazing care of you, who will love you, who will adore you, who will give you the world, challenge him. They like it. Those type of men, they like to be challenged. You know why? They're challenging themselves in their lives to be the best. They're challenging themselves in their businesses. They're challenging themselves with taking care of their families. Y'all inspired me. I got to do a video about, do you really want to marry an alpha masculine man? Or do you want a beta? What do you really want? Because alpha men like to be challenged by women. They like it. They like it. because they like challenges. They challenge themselves in life. So you sitting here thinking, oh, I gotta be easier. I don't want to inconvenience him. Inconvenience him. Girl, inconvenience him. Inconvenience him. Right? An insecure man doesn't want to be inconvenienced. Good. You don't want him in your life. Believe me, you don't want an insecure man. You want a man who is very secure in himself. He will be an amazing provider. He will be a leader. He will be a great teacher for your children. He will be a great father. He will be a family man. That's the type of man you want. Okay? Let's see. Yes. I'm going to tell you how you challenge men. It starts with you. You really, women, ladies, you really in your soul have to feel like you are the prize. When you know you're the prize, challenging him is going to be super easy, because whenever he does something you don't like, you'll be like, prize. Challenging him is going to be super easy, because whenever he does something you don't like, you'll be like, nope. Nope. Okay. My husband was calling me, so I told him I have to call him back. I have to call him back. Right? Now he's going to be thinking, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? What's going on? Hope she okay. And now he's going to be waiting for me to call him back. He's going to be waiting. Watch. Right? Simple stuff. Because you know you're the prize. When you know you're the prize, and I keep telling you guys this, I hope you guys let this radiate in your soul. You have a vagina. That's why you're the prize. Did your mother not teach you that? You have a vagina. That's why you are the prize. That's why you are the queen. This is the reason why. And once you really embody that and know that, attracting an amazing man into your life will be very easy. Am I accepting clients? Yes. If you go to my profile, there's a link to my calendar. Yes, I do coaching for women. I've helped women create successful marriages, millions in their businesses, happiness, healing from childhood stuff that's getting in the way of them having happiness in life. I've coached for 10 years and I've helped women do amazing things in life. So yes, I am coaching. Click on the link on my profile. There's a link to Calendly to my calendar and schedule a session. Oh, the live paused because I just challenged my husband. I was like, oh, I'll call you back. So now he's going to be sitting. He's going to be waiting for me to call him back. Oh, this is so much fun. Let's see. He started to switch when you showed interest. I think he probably thought you didn't like him. Because you were playing games, user. You were playing games. So he probably was like, well, I don't know if she likes me. And if a man cannot tell if you like him, he will start pulling back. Awesome, 29. I can't wait to talk to you. You look beautiful. I can't wait. Do you guys understand the power of your beauty, the power of your femininity, the power of your softness with them, the power of, like, we're so powerful. We just got to really, really own it. We got to own it. We got to own it. How did I meet him? So a friend of mine, I had bought my first house like when I was 28, and I had a tenant in my house, like a roommate. And she was like, I know this guy. She's like, I don't know why. She said, but I think you guys would make a great couple. And I was very open-minded. I'm always been a very open-minded person. And I was like, yeah, give him my number. And he called me. We talked for an hour the first night. And then the next day, he was like, I got to see you. And then when he picked me up that next day and I opened the door and saw him, I knew. I was like, he's my soulmate. And he said he knew too. But remember, you attract who you are. You attract who you are. Please remember this, ladies. You just have to love yourself so deeply and completely. Having a good man in your life will be easy when you do the work on yourself. You won't settle. You won't settle for a man mistreating you. You will not settle. And it could be in the smallest of ways. It could be in the smallest of things. If he's disrespectful, you'll see it in the beginning. I promise you. You'll see the red flags. A lot of women don't have the courage it takes to say, no, I don't want that. No. I deserve better. I deserve better than that. Right? You have to know what you deserve. And if you didn't have a father who taught you that you were a princess, you felt like a princess with your dad, and now you've grown up to be a queen, now you're a grown queen, If you don't feel that way, you didn't have that, give that to yourself. Do your healing work. I hope you guys have no anger towards your father. If you have any anger or resentment towards how your dad treated you, you will bring that into your marriage. You will bring that into the man that will marry you. So you got to do healing. Anything with daddy, issues with daddy issues as they call them, do your healing work. If you have resentment towards your father, you're going to find that you're going to resent your husband. Who is deep? And I've done therapy. So believe me, I've done a lot of healing work. And this is why I'm at the place I'm at in my life right now, because I've done a lot of work on myself. I don't blame anybody outside of me for what's happening in my life. I look within. I try to figure out within, why am I creating this? Why am I allowing this? What is this really about? What's the root of this? Right? How do you heal it? Girl, you're going to have to cry real good about it. I used to be the type of person, like in therapy, like I wouldn't cry. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to cry. I don't want to go there. And she would have me go to memories or go to places and within me that I was like holding back from. And I would cry like a little girl. I would cry like I was 5. And bringing the feelings up to the surface and expressing them and crying about them heals them. Do you know what your repressed emotions want? All they want? Do you know what healing is? Healing is the things in me that hurt, I'm expressing them. I'm crying about them. I'm releasing them. So I don't have to keep repeating the same cycles. I don't want to keep repeating the same cycles. I'm not 6 anymore. I'm not 10. I'm 40. I'm 49. I'm 49. Yeah, Mariama. Let's see. Yeah, if you have resentment towards your father, girl, you gotta heal from. I promise you. You will not attract a good man with resentment towards your father. And this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us all the time, like I think, like respect our parents. I think he really wants us to forgive our parents. You know, he wants us to forgive because they're human. And look at your parents' lives. Look how they were raised. Were they loved? Were they treated well? So sometimes they don't know how to. So you have to have sympathy for your parents. You have to have forgiveness for your parents. When I forgave my mother, because I had issues around my mother, which we're going to do a chat about mother wounds down the road. But when I finally forgave her, my life changed. And she'll never be what, quote unquote, I think a mother should be. And I'm okay with that. Because I know her history. I know where she came from. I know the wounds she had as a child, right? Yeah, father and daughter issues, girl, those are tough. They're not easy, but the healing is always for you. You know that, right? The healing's not about a man. The healing's not about wealth. The healing's not about, but what happens through the healing is every area of your life improves. It'll blow your mind. Every area of my life has improved, from my business, my marriage, my kid, how I even treat my children as a result of my healing. So, arranged marriages? Ooh. Arranged marriages. Ugh. I mean, I don't see an issue with people introducing, like, men to you and saying, like, I have this guy, but, ooh, I don't know. Like, when you say arranged, do you mean a family is, like, introducing you to someone, or they're telling you have to marry this person? Now, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in people telling people, because that's not even Islamic, that you have to marry this person. But yes, it is okay for families to introduce potential spouses to their kids. I don't see an issue with that, right? Yeah. I mean, I was referred to my husband through a friend, so but then you get to decide if you want to marry or not. You don't have to marry them if you don't want to, right? Online dating, what's funny is I actually know some sisters who met good brothers through online dating. So I can't say online dating doesn't work. I just think, and I did a video about this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the plan for the way you're going to meet your spouse. So you have to be open-minded in life, in everything. You don't know his plans for you. And every time you think, oh, this is the way, and this is the way, and you could be getting in the way. So you tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm open. I love this. This is one of the prayers I do. I'm open to receive the blessings you have for me. My mind is open. My heart is open. I'm open. You shower your blessings on me, like the snow's coming down. I love that. You shower your blessings on me. Ya Allah, you shower your blessings on me. My mind is open and my heart is open to receive. You show me the way. You show me the best way, where I need to go or where I don't need to go. to receive the spouse that you have already predestined for me. You show me the way, right? Oh, wow. What if you meet a guy who guided you back to, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? But then he just leaves after that. Okay, queen. You are the queen. Remember, you are the queen. You're on your throne. Any man who leaves is not the one for you. If he leaves, he is not. He's basically telling you from his behavior that he doesn't value you. So if he leaves, no. Leave? No. Next. Swipe. Next. Next. Right? Because you deserve better. You deserve a good man who will chase you and will be expressive to you and tell you, I want to marry you. I'm excited. I want to meet your parents. You're my dream woman. I can't wait. That's what you deserve. Right? That's what you deserve. Nothing less. Let's see. Should you return and get to know him because he'll be honest here? I think you need to have an honest conversation, user 3689. I don't think you guys are being honest. I think you need to have an honest conversation and say, this is the reason, maybe why I was sort of holding back. I was scared, or what, tell me how you feel. Like, did you think I didn't like you? You're not being honest. Honest conversations are important. Let's see. Yeah. If he stopped talking to you, sometimes honestly too, like sometimes Allah will put people in your life to bring you to him, but you're not supposed to marry him. It could be that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him in your path for you to come back to Allah, because the greatest love of all is love of God, not love of man. So that's the greatest love of all, right? Is love of God, love of self, and then children, and then man. So maybe he brought you to bring him closer to Allah, but maybe he's just not for you. If he's not reaching out to you, if he's not making an effort, he's not for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think you were playing like hot and cold, user 3689, and you can't play hot and cold. When I met my husband, there was no hot and cold. He knew what I felt. I knew what he felt. Remember I told you guys, you can't create love in fear. You can't create love from a fear part of yourself. You only create love with someone from the loving place within yourself. Is how you create love. Okay? You feel like he's for you. You feel like you can't be with anyone until you're full potential. Yeah, this is why istikhara. I love istikhara. I recommend the istikhara prayer, girls, on day one. When you meet somebody on day one, istikhara. Because what you're saying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, you guide me, you show me. You either keep him in my life or take him away from me. And then Allah will make the decision for you. Because if you're sort of on the fence about things, you're doubtful, you don't know for sure, make istikhara. Yeah, istikhara. User 3689, istikhara is the answer. It is 4:00, ladies. I'm actually going to cook tonight. So I asked my husband this morning, I was like, do you want chicken? Do you want lamb? Like, I always, like, when I'm going to cook, I ask him, like, what do you want? And he was like, we've been eating lamb a lot. He's like, what about chicken? So now I got to go find a nice recipe, a nice dish for him. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go get his things for his meal, make him a nice meal. And I'm going to get some flowers, and have a nice little table set. So it's 4:00, so I'm getting ready to head off. What do I feel about men who have a lot of friends? I think that's a very generic question, because it's not about the friends, it's about him. I think my husband is like a family man. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He works like 6 days a week. He has businesses, so he doesn't have time for a lot of friends. But I can't sit here and say because he has a lot of friends, he's not a good man. Again, it's about him. It's about him, who he is, right? And you guys got to just open your eyes and see the truth about people, right? If he's not Muslim yet, is he planning to revert? That's a good question. DSH snack. Is he planning to revert? Is he studying Islam? Is he getting closer to God? Is he getting more serious about the religion, right? Or is he just reverting for you? Like, I personally wouldn't want to marry a man who just reverted for me. I mean, the most important thing in my life, to be honest with you guys, is my relationship to Allah. It's the most important thing in my life. Everything else is secondary. And I always wanted to be married to a man who loved God in the way that I do. So it would be hard for me to marry someone who wasn't like a seeker already, who wasn't like, I'm learning about the religion, I'm trying to become, Muslim. If he's just doing reverting for you, then it may not be authentic. Okay, guys. I think I'm getting ready to get off because I got to figure out dinner tonight. But this was fun. I think I'll do this every Sunday. I do my weekly walks on Sundays, so I tried to do one earlier today, but it was all choppy in the woods. But I think I'll do these every Sunday, so if you guys want to talk with me on Sundays, that would be good. And I'll continue to do my recordings because I love doing this. I love giving advice. I love it, love it, love it. I love you guys. I send you guys love and peace. Love yourselves more every day. Allah loves you. You love you. And inshallah, you will be able to have the life in this life and in the next life that you truly deserve. So my salams.